Today, we are going to make some grass. No, I'm not in Colorado, so it's not going to be that kind of grass. It's our techniques that are so simple and sensible, your mowers have practically built themselves.
Hey folks, it's Mad Dog Merv. I'm here with Dave in his garage, and you can see behind me the Nova. Today's show is we are going to look at the progress that is being made on the Nova. You'll remember a couple of years ago the video that we put together about making a dream come true, and we went up to Idaho and we pulled, was 4 years ago?
Yep.
4 years ago.
2020.
4 years ago.
The pandemic.
Holy cow, that's right, it was. I remember I had to wear a mask. Dave had to take his off because, you know, he's just too... Anyway, we brought this Nova home from Idaho. And it was a driving car at the time. And it's his dream to get this restored, not necessarily restored, but fixed up so he can take it to car shows and, you know, enjoy it like a guy should. So we're going to go do some walking around with Dave, see what's new with the Nova. So here is our update. Stay tuned. Okay, so I'm not sure how we're going to format this today. We're just going to kind of wing it, as Mad Dog does quite a bit. So, again, I'm here with Dave, my friend Dave, and here is where the Nova is at right now. And I know it doesn't look like much, but there's a great story here to be told. So we're going to ask Dave a few questions. He's going to kind of tell us the story. First off, Dave, I don't remember, those tires and rims, are those the ones that came on the car?
No, they are not.
Okay.
The ones that came on the car were like a center line type of knockoff with some blue spinners that were on them. I still have those. I'll be selling those. That'll be a set. But I found these rally ones online, and I bought those, and then I had to get new tires because the tires on the other rims were shot.
Okay, so will these have the beauty rings on them and center cap, or what do they?
They did have, but I took them off for this teardown.
Right.
But what I bought for it, and I have them stored, they're still in the boxes, are the SS396 5-spoke rims. They're kind of like the ones that came on the Chargers or the Mustangs.
Oh, okay, so like the Magnum 500s.
So they'd be like, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I've got a set of those sitting downstairs, and I've got all the beauty rings for them and the SS little center caps and all that. That's what's going to be going on the car.
Okay, Dave, so the front end of the car is missing. What's going on here?
Well, the engine finally gave out. It was smoking. It was leaking oil. The front and rear mains and the oil pan were shot. So I decided it's time to tear it down to start to rebuild it. So I tore it down. When I got into it, I noticed that the subframe has been damaged, like they've been jumping it or doing Dukes of Hazzard stuff. And so I decided, well, maybe I can fix it. I was looking into that. The driver's side lower control arm is kind of damaged on this side. And then I decided, well, let's see if I can get like a subframe. So I looked around. I finally got a subframe. It's over there. That's brand new. It came in just about 2 weeks ago. And then I was going to tear it all down and use all these upper and lower control arms. But then I thought, well, I need to buy like the driver's side lower because I don't like it bent. So that alone was just $159 for just the lower control arm on the driver's side. So then I'm looking around and I found that set over there in those boxes. That was a complete set. It's upper and lower control arms with the ball joints installed and the bushings, and that was only $400. So I got all new upper and lower control arms, bushings. I got the subframe, the springs, the coil springs are up there in that white box on the shelf. I got a lot of stuff up there on the shelf for it. That's what I've been doing, is stockpiling parts. I got the front end shocks, so I'm ready to rebuild this whole subframe and get it tucked up underneath there. As soon as I get this one out, but it's a lot more work than I was anticipating, especially with my age.
Yeah, I can understand that for sure. So one of the things I'm noticing, though, with this front end gone is this color. Now, we had discussed when you bought the car that there was a few scrapes and whatnot, and we could see yellow underneath, and you went ahead and looked at this sunflower yellow. So this sunflower yellow, you did some research on, and is that the color you're going to go with? You're going to redo it blue? What's up with this beautiful yellow?
Yeah, I'm going to restore it to its original sunflower yellow because in 1970 for the Nova, there were 3 unique colors. And of course, one was the sunflower yellow. The other was hover orange and citrus green. And a lot of the Yanko cars were those colors because it was a unique color just for 1970. So that's what I'm going with. I'm going with the sunflower yellow.
Well, to me, it's a beautiful color. Now, back when I was a kid, and I think you're kind of the same way, blue was what we wanted, and blue was what we got, and things like yellow would just have been painted over. I mean, we would have painted over this years ago.
Right,
but,
because who wants to drive like a yellow car back in 1970? A few people.
Yeah, exactly. So... yeah, so we're looking at it now going, wow, that yellow actually is a pretty neat looking color. So, okay. Well, let's take a look at some of the other parts of the car. Okay, so we're going to look here at the interior, and the lighting isn't good. I'm sorry, folks, but is this carpet looks pretty worn. I guess you're putting new carpet in.
Yep, I got a whole new interior kit that I bought. It's a complete kit.
Now, how's the floor as far as rust? I'm assuming
I'm noticing on the driver's side, especially when you go like underneath, that it's it'll have to be replaced in just where the pedals are, where the mat set.
So not a lot, but a little bit of metal.
I'm thinking just on the driver's side, because the passenger side doesn't look bad, which is rare for these cars. Their floorboards would rust out quite easily.
So you've taken the seats out. What have you done anything with them yet?
Yeah, I took out the seats that he had in it, but back maybe 3 years ago, I found a set of original Stratolounger bucket seats for it that came out of the 71 Chevelle. I tore them down and I reupholstered them in black so it'd fit the car. There'll be pictures of that later, but and I've reupholstered the back seat in its original SS black trim.
And you did the upholstery yourself.
I did the upholstery myself, but I did have help on like YouTube. So because I looked up a lot of things, and there's guess we could do like a shout out for him.
Okay.
That's Chris Kraft. He does really good on tutorials. He's got a 70 Chevelle. So I watched those videos a lot and got the tools, and I did it myself. They're not perfect. I'm sure that a professional like upholsterer would say, well, that's a flaw, that's a flaw, that's a flaw. So they have flaws, but hey, for my very, very, very first time once in my life.
That's great.
Turned out great.
We'll have to take a look at those here in a minute. So I see the engine here. This is the one that came out of it, right?
That is correct.
Okay, what are you doing with this old thing?
Basically, I'll probably save the intake manifold and the valve covers and a few other parts to it, and just basically sell it cheap as a core.
Okay. Now, didn't you have a 396 laying around here somewhere?
Yes, it's right over there. It's in the bag right there. All I've got, that's a 402. It's originally coded for the 70 and 71 Novas with an automatic trans, but it's just the block.
Oh.
And I do have a set of newer high performance heads from Chevrolet up on the shelf that'll fit on that, but trying to find a rotating assembly for that has been kind of challenging.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you're probably going to go ahead with a small block crate motor then.
I'm thinking that, yes.
Okay.
Like a 383 stroker.
Well, I see a little change to the hood here. I remember when this hood was on, it didn't have these grills.
No, I bought an SS trim package and I installed it on it because I like that. So it's like a tribute. But then, of course, I decided to go with a hood that has a 2-inch cowl, and I bought that from AMD.
A little bit harder to see over there, but look at that. There's a 2-inch cowl induction hood. How about that?
Yep.
Wow. Well, that's That's pretty cool. And I'm with you. I like that as well. I mean, it's kind of hard to choose between the two because I like the SS. That's for sure.
Right. Right.
And see the front fenders are here, and they're still in really good shape. Other than you can see the paint peeling off of them, but as far as rust goes, just a little surface rust here and there. So, but Dave's got all the boxes. One of the first things I noticed in the car was the new mirror on the driver's side. The original mirror looks good on it. There's still going to be some body work that's going to have to be done, some rust work, like you said, over here. And this quarter is shot. So there is a bit of rust. But Dave and I have both worked on a lot of Novas over the years. And this just does not have nearly as much rust as some of the other projects we've worked on. So that's pretty neat. Yeah, I love that yellow. But I can see you got a lot of work here to do, buddy.
Oh yeah.
All right. And that mirror, this is the original style mirror for it, correct?
Yes, it is the original style.
Yeah.
It is an aftermarket set that I bought, but
Okay.
that is the original style with the oval.
All right. Well, thanks for updating us on the Nova. We'll have another update probably another year or two from now to see where it's at. But as you can see, it is coming along, and Dave's living the dream. Here are those seats Dave was talking about. They're pretty rough condition, but he had to pay a lot of money for them. But they will look really good in this car, and they're what originally should be here. So he went ahead and took off the old skins, refurbished the frames. You can see here it's been refurbished and repainted. And then he did the upholstery himself. First time ever. Doesn't have, we went and bought the tools he needed and watched a YouTube video. So here you go. I think they turned out great. They are going to look so good in this car when it's done. Here's the back seat. Again, it looks absolutely great. Good job, Dave, on doing it yourself. Well, here's the rims, the tires and rims that he got for it to just kind of move it around, if you will. But what's eventually going to wind up on it are these. I think it's going to be just beautiful when it gets to this point. I'm really excited for him to get this dream done. Here's those 396 heads he was talking about that he has. Again, he's still undecided on a motor, but leaning towards the crate motor. And you can see this here on the engine, or the heads that he's got. So the teardown, here's kind of what it started out as. Took the headlights off, put it up on the stands, and got going. Now this was just this last fall that he started the teardown. It's been kind of in drivable condition until this last fall. But as you can see, taking everything off here, getting to that point. Pretty dirty and greasy and nasty. You expect that after all those years. Pulling that old motor out. It was tired for sure. Time for something new. And here's the new hood. I love it. I think it's a great idea to go with this. I like the SS hood, but I like this one even better. And the new front end parts he's got. So anyway, folks, thanks for joining us today. This is what he wants it to look like. It's very similar to this when it's done. This is kind of what we're shooting for. So we'll see where we wind up. And I'll be bringing you up to date as we do more things to this car in the next few years. Again, thanks for joining us.